Hello, KGC fans and listeners. Today I am joined by, man, you think that visually impaired people don't have anything in life to look up for? Well, this man does.
You could say blind, dude. It's okay. We don't need to be PC about it with the whole visually impaired
Okay.
thing. Hey, brother, how are you?
I love Joe, and Joe's one of my best friends. Sorry. I have my own cell phone in my ears, so I was kind of I was getting really weird. But we are joined by one of the podcast favorite people. He sure is mine, and I love him dearly. My good buddy, my rock and roll buddy, Mr. Blind Joe. What's going on, Joe?
KGC. What's up, buddy? How are you, man? Great to be here on release day for my new single, Train, Train, Train. Woo, woo. That's my train whistle impression right there. You like that?
Oh yeah, buddy, it's so sexy.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks. Just for you, sweet stuff.
Oh yeah, you look amazing, buddy.
Thank you, brother. Right back at you, man. Looking great. Looking great. Take
Yeah,
that
buddy.
from a visual expert, by the way.
So how's life in Minnesota been doing for you, man?
Cold, dude, cold, and it's supposed to get colder. You know, it's like 16 degrees here today, which really isn't bad for a January, Minnesota day. But this weekend we're supposed to get like 40-mile-an-hour winds with 45. What did they say? 35 to 45 below wind chill. So yeah, my happy ass is going to stay inside and pump out Train, Train, Train on social media. And I was thinking about doing a honky tonk happy hour as well. I may do that tonight or tomorrow over on my Facebook page. That's facebook.com/theblindjoe in case you're curious.
Yep.
But you never know. Social media have just been ridiculous to me as far as censorship. And now Facebook, I got a thing from them yesterday basically saying that any monetization that I have has been cut off now, and I'm not really sure why that is. But yeah, it doesn't show up in my dashboard anymore, and I have no way to monetize anything. They just sent me an email like a week ago saying, "Hey, if you want to do paid events, you can do paid events now." And I thought, well, that'd be cool, if I could get everybody to chip in like $2 on an event or something, and do a honky tonk happy hour maybe once a week, that'd be great. And no sooner did I jump on the old computer and get away from my recording software to try and set it up, and they told me, "Oh, we don't know if you are who you say you are, so you're gonna have to prove it to us by turning on my location services on my phone." I mean,
Yeah,
unbelievable, man, what these social networks are all about. And you think they give a damn about you, and in reality they really couldn't care less. I mean, I never thought they gave a damn about me, but a lot of people do. They consider these things to be good, nice, excuse me, I gotta scratch my head here, platforms that they can really get big on. And you can, as long as you play the game. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, depending on how you look at it, I don't play the game. So they come after me quite a bit.
I'll say something, man. People censor people because of things that they don't like to hear, and
Yeah.
and it's all because they don't agree with words. Now,
Yeah, it's silly. It's silly. There used to be a time, and I know you're a little younger than I am, and that's not an insult against you or anything, but I remember a time when it was okay to say how you felt, and maybe it got a little edgy sometimes, but people were like, "Hey, you know what? That's your opinion," and I totally get it. And now we're living in this society where you have to. I mean, I never will, but in order to fit in and to try to do the right thing, you have to be on your guard all the time and be thinking, "Oh my gosh, can I say that? Can I say this? Can I say that?" And I mean, and it's not even like you're saying anything bad. It's just normal everyday speaking that is censored by the world nowadays. Although if you want to go online and talk crap about certain groups of people, white people or whatever. Hey, have at it, man. Have at it. You can do all of that and more on social media. But if you tell someone that if you're born with a penis, you're a boy, and if you can have a baby, you're a girl, prepare to be censored, ladies and gentlemen.
Amen. Yeah, you're in for a rude awakening if you think that you're gonna get away with being able to say the truth.
Yeah.
And I want to talk to you a little bit about a lot of the times I get these great guests on these shows like yourself, and all they do is just sing. Well, some people sing, some people talk, but I
Yeah.
really like talking with people, especially you,
Thanks, man.
because you're funny. You're a stand-up comedian.
Well, I wouldn't call
there's
myself a stand-up comedian, but I
I
try to
would.
I try to work in a few laughs, especially at the live shows and stuff like that. I think it's just part of being an entertainer. You know what I mean? If you can, and I shouldn't say anybody can because a lot of people can't, but I mean, there's a lot of people out there that get up on stage with a guitar and sing songs, and especially in Nashville, I learned that, but it takes a special kind of thing to get up there and hold people's attention and really keep them into it, and laughter is a big part of that. So I've really
And
been
you,
blessed. The good Lord has been good to me in that regard.
talk to us a little bit about, I know this isn't anything I have planned. I never plan anything with you.
That's all
I
right,
know
man.
how
That's all
professional. Uh, but
right.
I'm never professional. But I want to talk to you a little bit about your faith growing up, because I know growing up being blind, it's not. Sometimes you wish, hey, I wish I could see,
All
and
the time, dude. All the time. Especially,
and
my friends were into video games and stuff, and I was into video games too, but I was into the more of the sound of them. And so, um, back then I really didn't think about it like this, but like faith growing up for me was really just instilled by my mom and dad. We went to church every Sunday, but we weren't really Bible thumping, like reading every day and getting down with the gospel kind of thing. That was more my grandpa's deal on my dad's side. My grandpa Bob, who also taught me most everything I know about music. And he would pray a rosary or three every day, and was very into the Bible, and so started reading me the Bible at a young age. And you know, I I I think now looking back that like one of my best friends, his name's Chris Gimpy, I call him. He was kind of introduced into my life by the Lord. I would say that was definitely a God thing, and we were, have been best friends since we were 5-6 years old, and of course we bonded over video games. Ironic because I can't see, but I'll never forget sitting in my basement and I was trying to play Double Dragon as best I could on regular Nintendo, and he comes in, he's like, "Hey, is that Double Dragon?" I'm like, yeah, Double Dragon. And he picked up the controller and we started playing together, and that was it for us, man. We were really inseparable up until we both went to college, and even after that we hung out a lot. And now of course he's married and got a family, and I'm married and have my family, and we're busy people. We don't really get to hang that much anymore, but he's a wonderful person in my life, and I'm very thankful. I thank God every day that I had that time with him, because man, we shared a lot together. He actually has a form of cerebral palsy, which is very mild, but he does kind of walk with a limp a little bit, hence the name Gimpy. And so we kind of, I think, related to each other in that regard too, both having a handicap. And man, we had so many good times, dude, that it's incredible. And there, you really can't, I really can't say anything more than about like how great it was just to have a friend and somebody that gets it. You know what I mean? So if you're struggling out there, that would be my my advice to you, as far as if you have a handicap or you have something that's affecting you, is find a friend, man. Because when you find somebody that's in a similar situation and you can relate on in that regard, it's you can form a really really great bond, a lifelong thing.
Yeah, and like I have with you,
Yeah,
me
man.
and you, and I mean,
You have
you're
a
a
mental
family.
handicap and I have a physical handicap, and we make it work, dude. No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
You know I love you, buddy.
oh, I know you do too. And I'm not even kidding you. You look amazing. And I want you to show off that big old head of hair of yours.
Oh
You know,
yeah, look at this, dude. There is no hair hardly anymore. Although it's growing out now. It only takes like 2 or 3 weeks for this to grow out. I completely damn near bald myself, shaved myself bald like before Christmas or after Christmas? I don't even remember. And now it's already growing out. So
you know, and you're one of those people that can make bald work and heads
oh, thanks,
of
man.
hair.
Thanks. The only reason I even do it is because it's the hat thing. Like it makes my hat a lot more comfortable. Not that my hat is uncomfortable, because it's not. But for whatever reason, when I'm bald, it's a lot more comfortable for me. And I don't know. I've always loved it. Always loved it. And it's been anybody that sees me when I'm bald is like, I don't understand, dude. You have such thick, awesome hair. Why don't you want to like let it grow? And I don't know. I've always been a shaved head. Always been a shaved head kind of guy. Just feel a little freer. Yeah, you got it, man.
Hey, I have to ask you, please tell me you shave your own head.
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just depends. This time around, the wife did it for me just because it was easier. But the majority of the time, I will. Just depends.
Man, I love you. You don't need sight. You use the voice is all you need, buddy.
But the voice, the hands, you use your other senses more, and I really look at my blindness as kind of a blessing in a way, because there are so many people out there that have a little bit of vision, or they're losing their vision over time. And that, for me, I think, as knowing how impatient I can be, I think that would really piss me off, just because number one, I can't imagine losing a sense gradually over time. That would absolutely devastate me. And number two, having a little bit of vision, you'd want to use it all the time, and you don't want to let it go. And I think that could, I've heard a couple of people say that that's kind of a detriment to them, although they don't want to really admit it, because, it's your vision. You don't want to lose it.
Yeah.
So, I think that being blind since birth and really just having to adjust to it, it's really helped me out a lot as far as my independence anyways. Now, there are still some things that piss me off about it, for sure, obviously, but
voiceover.
What's that?
Voiceover must be a really annoying thing to deal with sometimes.
No, I love voiceover, man. Voiceover, which is the screen reader on the iPhone. It's actually on all Apple devices, iPad, Mac, Apple TV. I can see how it would be annoying from a sighted person's perspective, because you got this thing that you can see talking to you for no reason, and you don't know how to operate it. But for me, I'll never forget, dude, back in like 2010, when I got my first iPod Touch. I didn't even know that iPhone existed at the time, and I got an iPod Touch. And at this time, I didn't have a computer with a screen reader, and I don't know that like NVDA, which is non-visual desktop access, which is a screen reader for PCs. I don't know that was even a thing at the time. It might have been, but I was kind of out of the loop, and somebody had told me that iPod Touches were accessible with VoiceOver, a screen reader called VoiceOver. And I went out, I played a show and went out and spent my gig money on an iPod Touch. And man, to be able to go onto the internet and like do email and do YouTube, and at the time Facebook was big. It was like the whole world opened up for me, and that was a world that I'd never really experienced before, other than when I was in an environment where blindness was more. Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
I got you just loud and clear.
All right. Sorry about that, man. I forgot to turn my speech off. Speaking of voiceover, but it changed my life, dude. And at that point was the point where I told myself, well, and then after I got the iPod, shortly after that, I found out about iPhone. So I went to Verizon and got a phone. So then I had the calling and the texting features. And I was one of these guys before that was like, text messaging. What a freaking joke. I ain't never text messaging. You want to talk to me? You call me. You know what I mean? and once I got the iPhone and VoiceOver, it was a whole different ball game, dude. And I told myself then, I was like, well, now that I have all this stuff and I'm able to be more independent, I really feel like I need to make a change in my life and try to do this music thing on a real level. And here we are 14 years later, 13 years later, I still haven't done that, but working on it, man. Working on it,
Slowly but surely.
One honky tonk / pissed off liberal at a time, I suppose.
I wasn't gonna go into that, but now that you just
and look, I'm not even trying to be political here. Like I say liberal, but I don't hate anybody. I have no, whether you're liberal or conservative, whatever your viewpoints are, you do you. I really don't care, because in the end, man, Republican, Democrat, we're all in the same boat. Our presidents are selected, not elected, whether you want to believe it or not. And people don't give a shit about us. These people anyways, these people that claim to, these politicians and big tech people and corporation people, they don't care. They care about their bottom line, and they want you fat, sick, eating bugs, living in pods, and just completely, subservient to them. So fuck them all, I say.
If you
excuse my language.
Not really. But here's the thing, man, and here's the thing, everybody that's watching, if you have a question for Joe, leave it down there in the comment section. I will read it to him, because obviously Joe can't read it himself.
And what's with you people leaving questions in the comment section that aren't in Braille? I mean, come on, that's a little discriminatory, don't you think?
Somebody's gonna watch this and be like, oh, well, that was offensive.
Well, I'm sure I'm offensive to everybody, I guess.
Me too.
According to social media anyways.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You get these people on here that don't listen, that they hear a song, but they don't listen to the message behind the song.
They don't. They hear they hear what they want to hear,
They hear
when you say when I said, if you're born with a penis, you're a boy, and if you can have a baby, you're a girl, and people go, oh my God, you hate trans people. No, I don't. I feel for trans people. I can't imagine how it must feel to feel like you're trapped in a body that was meant to be the member of the opposite sex. I mean, that must be absolutely mentally just, I can't even fathom that.
Mind boggle it.
Yeah, I can't even fathom it. I can't imagine what those people go through. What I have a problem with is pitching this stuff on kids, and that's what they're doing. And you can say whatever you want about political this and political that, but there's nothing political about it. This is just an asshole thing. Like when you're trying to teach kids lies about basic anatomy and basic truth and shove it down the throats of 5-year-old kids, that's sick. That is absolutely sick. And
life sentence.
Yeah. I mean, it's wrong. When you go on Google and type in, can men menstruate? And Google proceeds to tell you, oh yeah, people have periods. It's not just women. It's not just a feminine thing. It's like, what the hell is happening to this world? And I mean, I know full well what's happening. This is communism at its finest coming in, but social communism. But at the same time, it's just people need to stand up to this stuff and say, hey, at least if you're not going to say it out loud on social media, I guess if you're too much of a wussy to say it in public, at least say it to your kids. Like, hey, this is not true. Okay. What they're telling you is a lie, and you need to know this, because, You know, it's all fun and games right now. It's funny, haha, kind of stuff, you know, and people get all, you know, fighting over it on Twitter and this and that and the other. But I mean, you just wait 10, 20, 30 years down the road when this is really what people believe.
Yeah,
And,
man.
you know,
Yeah.
us as older folks are going to sit back and go, well, how the hell did we get here? Well, you know, if it happens that way, how we got here is not standing up and not saying something.
Yeah.
And not being a part of the solution instead of being part of the problem.
Yeah, and that's what it is. You know, people seriously take really good. They really like to draw attention to themselves, and that's
Yes.
exactly what they do. Is
Yeah.
they find something that they don't like about a certain song, or they don't like a certain phrase in a song, and they get offended for it. For what reason is beyond me, because they want you to lower down to their expectations.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's just,
And
yeah.
you shouldn't have to lower your music to their standards just because they don't agree with it. And
Yeah.
you know, it's 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 sickening that we even have to talk about this, because
Yeah.
if you were to ask us 86 years ago when you were born, I'm kidding, it would.
Look at you.
Yeah, buddy. Caden coming in with the jokes.
Yes,
Nice and
sir.
hot, buddy. Out the press. That's how we do things here in Spokane. Dry sense of humor and really funny.
Love
Uh,
it.
but you know, if our forefathers and the people who created this earth, God Himself, are ashamed. And
Well, here's the bottom line, dude. You know, when you talk about stuff like censorship in music and all this kind of thing, if the correct and appropriate response, and I know that, like, I have a new song out today called Train Train Train. It has no controversy in it whatsoever, and yet all we're talking about is controversy, but it's kind of the world we're in today. But the correct response to my song The Truth, which is the song that gets that I've been talking about a lot lately, you know, that song that says, if you're born with a penis, you're a boy, and if you can have a baby, you're a girl. The correct response is, yeah, I know. Who wrote this? This is stupid. Why are we listening to this? You know, and yet the response I got was, oh my gosh, I can't believe you said that. I mean, think about that for a second. That's crazy.
yeah,
You know, I mean, that's absolutely crazy town. Like, it'd be like if I came on and said the grass is green, and people were like, green? What do you mean it's green?
you know, it's true. And you know, when I listen to that song, the first thing that comes to my mind is Rodney Carrington, because and I'm sorry to compare. I'm sorry, not sorry to compare.
No, don't
that
be sorry,
song to him,
man.
because
I love me some Rodney for sure. He's great. You know,
we all
I've been
do.
a fan of Rodney ever since I heard him on the Bob and Tom show when I was probably 13, 14 years old. He was doing a song called Letter to My Penis. And still a song that I do at shows today. And Rodney is
Sometimes.
just a class act, man. The guy is absolutely fantastic with what he does. A great entertainer, a wonderful comedian, great singer, a good writer, and just I've never had the chance to meet him, but I hope to one day. He's a fantastic dude.
You know, I think when I think of songs like The Truth, and you even got controversy, because here's why you got controversy on this song. It was nothing that you had said. It was because of the cover.
Oh yeah.
Hello Hunting. People were offended that you were holding a gun.
That was Hello Hunting. Yeah.
Yeah, Hello Hunting.
Yeah, that was
stupid.
That was really dumb. Really dumb. And Spotify still won't playlist it. I think you can put it on a playlist of your own, but they won't put it on any of their playlists or anything like that. They won't let people put it on bigger playlists. And yeah, I mean, it's silly, dude. TikTok banned that one as well. They keep pulling it down. I mean, The Truth, though, is the one that TikTok really hit hard. Well, they hit I Will Not Comply pretty hard too back in the day. But I've just stuck to keeping the what do you call them? What do they call them now? I'm losing it. The community guideline strikes or whatever up on TikTok rather than deleting them, because I in a way I kind of wear them like badges of honor now, because it's just it's just so silly. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
absolutely ludicrous to be out there singing a song that's completely true about something that I'm genuinely concerned about, you know, in a country where we are supposed to be free to have an opinion on anything we want. But, you know, you can have an opinion. It just has to be
Mhm.
the right one nowadays.
Yeah, and it has to be the one that people are looking forward to hear, because
Yeah.
here's the thing. If you I've said this a million times, and you've said it, I've actually kind of stole this from you. What, you steal from me? Yeah, not all. I I just I just steal your saying sometimes.
we all do it, brother. We all do it.
Yeah.
I'm not worried
So
about it, man.
I don't care, because I know you'll be like, "Hey, you say this? I say it too.
I do.
Hey, cool."
It's the way I am, for
But
sure.
it's a thing of like this, man. No matter what you are, if you're a butthole, you're a butthole.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line, and that's what I try to get across to people, especially with the live shows. Is, you know, we have to stop this. You know, it doesn't matter if you're black or white, left or right, man or woman, blind or sighted, whatever, gay or straight. Nobody cares. Nobody cares who you have sex with. Nobody cares what color your skin is.
Amen.
Nobody really cares. And if they do care, they're assholes. And it's just time to stop being an asshole. Period. I mean, with everything, with the censorship, with the way we treat people. It's all media hype. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
The news gets you all riled up and, oh, this is this and that is that and blah blah blah. I mean, dude, I just watched a 10-minute video from Brett Cooper from the Daily Wire talking about a couple of actors or something, and when they met, he was 17 and she was 42, and now he's cheating on her and blah blah blah. And I'm like 4 minutes through this video going, why the hell am I don't even know who these people are. Why am I watching this? Why do I care? And the reality is, I don't care. And there's so much out there, man, that we don't, and it's myself included now. I'm not like talking smack about anybody else, man. I do the same thing, but we got to focus on what's really going on in the world instead of being distracted by all this stuff, because it's so easy. They know what they're doing. We're being socially engineered, and it's been that way for a long, long time. And it's not an easy thing to break away from, for sure. But if you know what you're looking for, you know, then you can spot it and go, okay. Like here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Do you remember a couple months ago, maybe it was longer than that, I don't pay attention, but the whole big news cycle was on Johnny Depp and his girlfriend, and she crapped in his bed or whatever it was, and they were breaking up and blah blah blah. Okay, dude, when you see stuff like that on the news and it's taken up like a week of your news feed or whatever you get your news from, dear God, I hope you don't get it from social media, but a lot of people do. You know, that's when you have to ask yourself, what are they distracting us from? Okay, what's going on in real life that they're hiding from us or that they don't want us to find out? And that's when you need to start looking into like what we're doing with China, or what we're doing with foreign wars, or what's going on with our economy or inflation or the budget or whatever, because that's what they do. You know, that's their game. They look at us as pathetic losers that are so dumb and so absolutely stupid that we couldn't comprehend what's going on. So the big people have to help the little people out because the little people are just so stupid. Here, let me hold your hand, little buddy. I'll help you, you know, and that's just not the way we are. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're 40 like me or 20 like you. People are not dumb. As much as they want them to be stupid, they're not. And if we don't stand up to these people and say, hey, you know what, dude, we're not this stupid, and you're not going to sit here and passive aggressively call us dumbasses all the time. We're not going to let it happen. They will. That's what they'll continue to do until we're freaking eating crickets and living in pods and asking them for more of that universal basic income, which is another thing that I think is stupid.
Hey, I want to get your input about handouts. What do you think about that, buddy?
Well, there you go. Universal basic income. You know, that's basically a handout. And I think it's ridiculous, man. You know, And that's not to say that I think the welfare system is bad or anything like that. I mean, I do think it could definitely use a restructure. But no, I don't believe in handouts at all. Now, I've been down on my luck and had to, use food stamps for a few months and what have you. And if you are genuinely down on your luck and you need something to get you picked up until you can get on your feet, I'm all for that. I mean, everybody needs a helping hand from time to time. But these people that live off the state and, I got to wait till my next cash assistance comes and my food stamps come and stuff like that. And they have no aspirations, no employment aspirations, no ambition. They just sit around and Netflix and video games and all this kind of thing. There's no excuse for it. I mean, especially today when the job market is so, I mean, everybody's looking for employees, excuse me. So
yeah,
you really have no excuse. And look at what they're paying at fast food restaurants. I mean, holy shit, dude. I saw McDonald's paying like $15 an hour nowadays. People wonder why all of our shit is, inflation's going on. But that's a whole other story entirely. But yeah, I mean, there's no excuse for it, dude. You don't need to be a lazy layabout. Get out there and it especially bothers me because as a blind person, I don't know if you know this or not, but depending on where you look, 70 to 80% of blind people are unemployed. And it's not because they're undereducated or they don't know what they're doing. It's because people won't give them a shot because it's frankly easier to hire a sighted person than it is to hire a blind person. Sometimes, at least they think that. And I know this. I've applied for tons of jobs that I was more than qualified for and haven't got them. So I think there's a lot of sighted people out there that would do good to realize that and be thankful for the jobs that they are able to get and the fact that they can drive their car to their job to work it, but again, this all goes back to what they're doing to the kids, man. They're shoving this crap down kids' throat about, one of the hashtags I saw on TikTok, what's it called? Quiet quitting.
Yeah.
Where you go to work and you just like do the bare minimum and you don't really do anything else. You don't really talk to people, you just do the bare minimum. You just skate on by until they maybe fire you. And then, I quiet quit. Oh, hashtag quiet quitter. It's like, oh my gosh, dude, are you serious? Yeah, I mean, I think about that quiet quitting. I can't even imagine like telling my father that, like, oh, Dad, as a child, like, Dad, the latest thing on TikTok is quiet quitting now. Are you kidding? My dad would have whooped my ass for even thinking about doing something like that. You'd have been like, you get out there and you put your best foot forward and you do what you can to make a difference, man. Quiet quitting. Don't come around here with that bullshit.
And it is now. Here's the thing. A lot of people.
I know I sound like the old guy. Like back in my day, we did it a little different. But
the old British guy. Yeah, always seems to come out in Joe.
Yeah, but it's true. I mean, my gosh, have some self-respect.
Yeah, and work for dinner. It's not that hard to say, hey, I want to make my life like this, and I want to live my life like this. And how are you gonna love your family? How are you gonna love your wife? How are you gonna love your kids if you can't do a simple thing called work?
Yeah, and that's it. That's it. You can't expect to have a family. You can't expect to have kids, and a stability in your life if you're not working. And it's I don't know any woman out there that is like looking for a guy that just like sits on his ass and plays video games all day and waits for his check to come in and is just like, oh yeah, I don't know any chicks out there that are like, ooh baby, I gotta find me one of those.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and I'm gonna, I don't know how we ever got off on this subject, but
who knows?
It's beyond me. But you know what? It's a good conversation because it's what people need to hear. Stop lying to your kids. Get your kids outside. A kid hasn't played in the a kid hasn't played outside since iPhones were invented.
Yeah.
And all
And
the people do. You see 5-year-olds now these days with an iPhone strapped to their face because
yeah,
God, Lord knows that they need an iPhone strapped to their face when they can go get stuck in a tree.
yeah, my advice as far as that is concerned would be keep your kids off the internet for as long as humanly possible. And like, I get it. The internet is part of our lives and it's hard to do, but my gosh, man, it's just full of just it's like a
Evil.
cesspool of crap. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
the best words I think you could ever tell your kids are go play outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like go get out there. Here's a stick. Here's a ball. Whatever. Make a snowman. I mean, wherever, you know, depending on where you live. Something, anything to just get them out in nature and away from this just absolute insanity that we've all kind of fallen into. Because if you don't, you know, they're just going to become another victim of the game. Excuse me.
Yes, sir. And I want to say, I want to talk to you just for a second about. I know you did. You've done a couple voiceover or voice acting things.
Yeah, I'm
You,
trying to get into that. You know, it's a saturated work environment for sure. There's a lot of people trying to get into it, and I worked in radio for quite a while before I really started doing this music thing professionally, and so I kind of have a little bit of a leg up there. But even with that, it's a little tougher than I originally anticipated to really break into that kind of thing.
yeah, buddy.
So I'm still working on it. Getting myself a new computer here, so I'll be able to do things while we travel. You know, because we travel a lot for the music.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is with voice acting, you got to meet a lot of deadlines and stuff like that. And I can't schedule stuff really until I get some sort of travel computer. But I got a laptop on the way. Hopefully, we'll be here in a couple of weeks. So.
Yeah, hopefully, probably not. You know,
So
you
yeah,
order.
well, we'll see. We'll see. It's
You order something now. It's this. Is now you order something and it says it's going to be here, and then now that the weather's bad, now that we're in winter, hate
Yeah.
the season by the way. Oh, it's going to be late due to weather.
Yeah, you're in Seattle though, aren't you? Aren't you outside of Seattle? Isn't that where Amazon's
Spokane.
from?
Spokane.
Spokane. That's right.
I forgive you.
Yeah. Yes. I'm sorry. I did
just
not
like
mean
me
to
with
call
the
you
voice,
a
dude.
Seattleite.
Yeah, just like me with your season of The Voice. For some unknown holy reason, I can't ever get it right.
Oh, it's
but
fine.
you know,
It's
but
fine.
you know,
I don't worry about it. What? How far is Spokane from Seattle?
4 hours.
Oh,
4
okay.
hours, and I hate it over there, dude. It is.
Yeah. You're not.
There's nothing good over there, dude.
You're not a fan of the smell of urine and weed smoke?
No, not at all. You know,
I hear you.
You know, I'm not even kidding you, man. There's a place downtown Seattle. I wish I was joking with you. That is entirely made out of gum that people have chewed and stuck on the wall.
Oh my.
Yeah. So next time you're out there, I got to show you that. I mean, I got to take you to it.
You know, I think I'll pass. I think I'll pass on that. That is,
you know, and
quite disgusting.
Yeah, and every time I talk to you, I always like, when are you coming out here? Oh, I'll be out there this Christmas. You coming out here this Christmas? Yeah, no.
I know. And you know what, man? I don't know if we will this holiday season either. It's just crazy how things happen because we had every intention of going out for Christmas, and the wife ended up getting a job at the local church here where I live in Minnesota, and
the Vikings.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a whole nother story. But she got a job, and so she ended up taking on like 2 jobs rather than 1 job, and so she's been working really, really hard, and so that's why we really. And even if we would have wanted to go for Christmas with the weather the way it was in December, man, we were having some crazy snowstorms. I didn't even get to go see my family on Christmas because it was just absolute crap.
Yeah, you know that's one thing that I don't like that God does is He places snow in our pathways for whatever reason. You know, it might be nice to look at if you're sighted, but if you're blind, it's just hell in a haystack. It's cold. It's bad roads.
It is a pain in the ass if you're blind, for sure. But dude, it's just like anything else. You just kind of navigate it and hope that the sighties out there have taken the time to shovel. Otherwise, it can be a real pain in the ass to navigate.
I want to say this, and I want to thank you for coming on the show, man. And
Yeah, man.
and
Thanks for having me.
I will always be forever grateful. But this is I'm going to kind of wrap this up on a little bit
Sure.
more of a serious note here, and again, I want to say thank you for wasting away your time and
Dude, there's
to an interview.
Nobody out there I'd rather waste it with, my friend.
Well, maybe if never mind.
Well, but, maybe if Leanne was home, it would be a different story. But she's working all day, so we're cool, brother.
Yeah, every time I need to talk to Joe, he's always right there. And it's funny because I'll often talk to Joe during the football season because football season for me,
do we have to talk about football?
Well, we're coming into the Super Bowl.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah. And Chris Stapleton is singing the national anthem.
I think that is so awesome, dude. Here's my question, though. Why not the halftime show?
Oh, my gosh. You're one of those.
Look at what this guy's done, dude. Okay? Look at what this guy's done, all right? Since 2016, his album has been in the top 5 Billboard albums. I mean, dude, that's like 7 years now.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. I would say that warrants a halftime show. But the thing of it is Chris Stapleton, he's not going to cuss at you. He's not going to throw up the Satan signs. He's not going to take his clothes off. So they were probably like, oh, no Satan, no stripping. Sorry, Chris. You're relegated to the national anthem, sir. But which is, what a high honor. I mean, that's so great. It's so great for him, and I'm so proud of him. And he's just such an amazing singer, songwriter.
Yeah.
And I mean, everybody knows that. So,
and your version of If It Hadn't Been for Love got you to hug Gwen Stefani.
It did.
So you're probably extra thankful for Chris. Dude,
the first time I heard of Chris was that song. I remember I was in a little bar in North Dakota. I mean, little bar. And the waitress asked me, she's like, hey, do you know the Steel Drivers? I go, no, I've never heard that in my life. She's like, oh, you'll love him. Their singer, Chris, is just amazing. And I heard If It Hadn't Been for Love for the first time, and I was like, I have to sing this song. Oh, my gosh. This is just like, oh, amazing.
Yeah, it's called Heaven. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
And I'm not talking about Kane Brown. I'm not, no. You want to talk about a douchebag if you ever met one, Kane Brown's a good one.
I don't know him personally. I think that it's hilarious that he got lost on his farm, his own farm, and had to have the cops call and reorient him. I mean, that alone makes me happy that Kane Brown exists, because that story, that's like one of 100 that hasn't came out yet. You know what I'm saying? Or won't come out. But I would love to meet him and like talk to him and just see what other fascinating anecdotes he has.
See how many times he got lost on his farm.
Yeah, because man, when you get lost on your own property, that is something special right there. That's good stuff.
That's like a blind man in their own corn maze.
Yeah. Except for I would have an excuse at least,
Yeah. Well, never mind. But I want to wrap up. I know I've been making jokes, and I know we've been on here for almost an hour, but I just want to say this, Joe. I want to say, for me personally, you're my hero, and
thank you.
I want to say the reason why you're my hero is because you're 40 years old and you're blind, and you have written some pretty controversial songs, and the fact that you haven't given up just shows me that, hey, I'm 19 years old. I forgive you. You also mess up my age, but I forgive you. Never mind. But
the bottom line is just you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in yourself and have faith in God and Jesus, and know that they are out there. Whether doesn't matter your religion or anything like that. Have faith in what I can tell you is an absolute truth, and that is 2 things. Number 1, Jesus loves you, and so do I. And number 2, if you're born with a penis, you're a boy.
You're a boy.
And if you can have
a baby, you're a girl.
And if you don't like that song because you think what I'm singing's wrong, You're the
You're the
dumbest human
dumbest
being
human
in the
being in the
world.
world.
And that's
Hey,
the truth right there.
I haven't heard that song. I don't think I've heard that song.
Well, if you haven't, you can check it out on all streaming platforms, including Spotify, or you can check out my new single, which just dropped today. Train, Train,
Hello.
Train. No controversy in that one. That's just a really happy, upbeat song about a guy that gets left by a chick and she's leaving on a train. And it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Produced by my buddy Brent McAuliffe and me. And we just had a great time with it. So, Caden, dude, keep doing your thing, man. I appreciate you having me on, brother. God bless you. And as always, dude, you text me anytime, and we'll be in touch. And thank you, everybody out there, for listening. If you want to know more about what I'm doing, head on over to blindjoe.com, or you can check me out on social media. I'm all over the place: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Blind Dude on Instagram. That's another topic for another show.
Oh, come on. Come on. Talk to us for a second about it. You talked about it.
Nothing, man. It's just funny. I just think the irony of it's funny. Like a blind guy on a site where it's primarily pictures. That's pretty hilarious stuff. But I get by on there too. So
Yeah.
Follow me. I'm on TikTok. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. You can link to them all at blindjoe.com. And I really appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for having me on.
You know, and I appreciate you too, man, and I appreciate everybody watching, and don't forget to check out Blind Joe's Facebook page for the Honky Tonk Happy Hour.
Yes.
He promises every it's going to be a monthly thing, and then he disappears for a year, and then we never see him until the next year.
I do, and everybody talks about that. I haven't quite figured out a way to monetize the Honky Tonk Happy Hour in a way that works for me. Because as much as I would love to just jump on and sing my songs for free, you know, this is how I make my living. And I thought I had it figured out with Facebook, but then they took my monetization away again. So I have no idea, man.
But love your Facebook. Thank you for taking Joe's monetization away.
For right now, I do have to concentrate on booking shows locally here so that I can make enough money to pay the bills. But hopefully in the near future, I'll jump on for another Honky Tonk Happy Hour, and it might just be sooner than you think. So follow me over on Facebook there.
Yes, please. And follow Blind Joe everywhere. Contact him at blindjoe.com.
Yes.
Make sure that you reach out, because Joe, when I think of good people, when I think of actually hardworking people who actually care about the kids and care about the music and care about everything, I think of Joe. And he's not Joe Rogan. He's not Joe Biden. He's the way better Joe than all three of them. And
well, thank you.
Both of them. And so you continue to follow Joe. I want to make a mention to happy birthday to Miller Cook.
Miller Cook, happy birthday, man.
He's turning 18.
Woo!
You're legal, buddy.
You're adulting now, Miller. You're adulting now. Remember that. My wife hates that word, adulting. I kind of hate it too, but that's the internet for you.
Please also go check out Danny Stefanetti. Oh, dude, I got to send you a song of hers. Please go check out Danny Stefanetti, 17 Stars, directed by my good buddy, Mr. Jeff Panzer. And Joe's going to find this. Jeff Panzer is not only a great director, he's produced everybody from guys like Stevie Wonder. We talked about another blind person. Yeah, buddy.
He's killing it. He's killing it a little harder than I am.
Yeah, he's old. He's old, kind of like Joe. Well, I didn't say anything at all. He's produced guys like Lil Wayne, Nelly, Florida Georgia Line, bastards.
Yeah.
All those guys. So please check out Jeff Panzer's work. Check out Danny Stefanetti. And if you guys like this show, subscribe to it, comment, subscribe, like, let me know who you want on. And it'll be about 6 months before we get back old Joe back on the show. And maybe he will help us and wish whoever's birthday is there a birthday coming up soon. And stay busy, Joe.
Hey, I will, man. You as well. God bless you, Caden. Thanks for having me, bro. Take care.
You too, buddy. Don't do anything I would do. And if you do, use protection.
I'll try my best, brother. We'll see you later.
All right, we'll talk soon.